Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. In this episode, we're going to give you our late review for Ahsoka Episode 2, now streaming on Disney+. We are left off with Sabine. She's recovering in the hospital in New Jersey. And now Ahsoka's...
She's going to be there a long fucking time.
She's at Temple or something like that. Yeah, so give me your thoughts for Episode 2 of Ahsoka.
I loved it, honestly. It picked up right from where we left off Episode 1. I love the chemistry, too, between Ahsoka, Hera, and Sabine. I think this is how you should handle, like, female protagonists. I don't know, there's something about it. It feels like they're, like, these, like, sisters.
They're just normal,
it almost feels, yeah, and it feels like almost like this, like, Kill Bill-esque type of, like, aesthetic where, like, it's, like, you know, strong female protagonist leading it. I love Chopper. I must say Chopper was like my favorite part in this whole episode. He looked great live action, and we saw him at San Diego too, so it was so funny seeing him here. And the villains themselves, I don't know, there's something about them. They don't feel like Imperial, but they don't feel like generic Inquisitors either. Well, it's funny because they had that one Inquisitor guy, but he actually like felt more effective than the other. He felt more effective than the fucking the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, I know.
Shit, but what are your thoughts on it?
It's interesting you say, like, it kind of reminds you of Kill Bill because Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Rosario Dawson both were in Death Proof, directed by Quentin Tarantino.
That's right,
so that's pretty funny. And also, yeah, they don't feel like anything, really. They don't really feel like Sith, and they don't feel like mercenaries that Morgan is used
pirates.
to. Or pirates. You know, they just feel, obviously there's a mystery that, you know, they kind of feel like henchmen, sort of, you know, to me at least, because they're like always taking orders, like, what is this? Oh, wow. Okay, I go do this. And that's it. But I mean, we'll see later on because their their furniture, their clothing is like really weird. It really reminds me of Old Republic, or at least High Republic. And I wonder if it has anything to do like that, if we'll get any teases for that. There's a lot of stuff here that I'm glad it's like deep state type of history where it's like, oh, okay, this happened 1,000 years ago or a couple hundred years ago, and like there's a big mystery to it. There's something archaic about the show with the mystery, and I really enjoy that because I think that's where you get into dicey and more scary territory is when you go into the unknown, right? And you don't even know how to treat it. So you can't use really Jedi. You know what? Actually, now I was just thinking of something. Maybe Ahsoka later on, because Hugh Yang keeps saying, "Oh, Jedi protocol," and she keeps saying, "Oh, sometimes you can't use that." Watch later on, she's gonna say, "Oh, I have to use this, like to surprise them, like bring back the old, right? Because they're going back to the old so much." But as for the episode, yeah, it was great. I think the dock scene was wonderful. I loved the fight scene too, especially when the guy was retrieving his lightsaber and Ahsoka's like a boss. She was just like this, right? Yeah. I wish I could be that with my technical problems. She was just like this, and then the guy took it back. He reminds me of kind of like these, what do you call those things from Lord of the Rings that they're...
The Nazgul.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of the Nazgul. A lot of people are saying he's Cal Kestis. I mean, I think that's a stretch, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think that'll be like really depressing though.
Some people are saying he's like fucking Starkill. I think that's a bit of a stretch.
That's a huge stretch. I don't think so.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked it overall. I think they're sprinkling in their own. Well, Dave Filoni is like kind of crafting this new lore that we've never seen with the Star Wars universe, which we kind of saw in the Legends, like, you know, with extra, you know, galaxies out there. I think it's a cool. I like how they do it, you know, exploring different galaxies, and it's kind of like this astrology theme. I think it makes sense within the boundaries of this show. And yeah, that hyperspace ring was really cool too, like the giant hyperspace. I had never seen that before. They called it the Eye of Sion too, which I think is a reference to
Sauron.
Sauron. No, I think it's a reference to what's it called? Knights of the Old Republic. With Darth Sion. So I thought that was a cool Easter egg. I wonder actually if we're gonna see I doubt it because we already saw him, but I wonder if we're gonna see Zeb or Rex in this show. Maybe Hayden, but I don't know. It just feels weird. It's like not seeing Rex or Zeb because they were also part of the Ghost crew.
Well, I would be flabbergasted if we don't get like some sort of flashback that includes all of the Rebels crew somehow. I would be really shocked, and that would be really cool to see Freddie Prinze Jr. as Kanan.
Oh my god!
And they bring him
I'd
back
fucking
or
lose
something.
my shit.
Yeah, but like they all looked really like good, like from the Rebel show, you know, just together. I would love that, to be honest. Especially, you know, I always say in this channel, marketing and the shows and figures and comics, they tie in a lot, and you could sometimes get some hints of what's to come. And you know, we have HasLabs with their new Ghost project, and of course that includes, if you reach it, that includes the whole crew of Rebels. So I'm thinking, wow, imagine, because Vintage Collection anyway, they realize the characters as if they were live action. So that's why I'm saying, oh, well, I wonder, you know.
Well, the only thing we're gonna get probably of that was from the first episode with the painting, which is actually kind of cool if you think about it, because it's pulled right from the the show too.
Yeah.
It's just weird to like see like only like certain members of the Ghost crew. I mean, Kane, obviously he's not gonna come back, but
he's burning.
He's burning
in hell.
In Mustafar.
Mustafar. Oh! They think he's okay.
Right. But I mean, we saw Zeb already, and Rex. I think this, if you're gonna milk Tamora Morrison in this franchise, you might as well use him for Rex. But
we never seen a live action Rex anyway.
Right.
We never. So I think that's like one of the most popular characters, show Rex. Yeah.
For sure.
But I don't know how they'll implement these characters though, because it does seem like it's moving and now where there's this mystery and they have to always follow something. So, I mean, I would love for everybody to go and support Sabine, of course, because they're part of the crew. That's a long journey to like, oh, let me catch up and then let me go.
Right.
It's just, it kind of seems like impromptu or like a something that's lazy. I hope they don't get to that.
Sabine cutting her hair.
Yeah, listen, Sabine is what you call a liberal in fucking Star Wars. The hair, the chicken cat she has in her apartment, she, I feel like MLD from Valuetainment when he was in an episode. You guys know what I mean. And he's like, she has to be non-combative, submissive. No, but I do like her character a lot, to be honest with you. I love Natasha Liu Bordizzo playing her. I think I love the casting too, because she does look a lot like Sabine. It's really weird. I get this weird feeling I felt like this way with Hayden Christensen. There's something weird where I don't know. It's something you don't really tend to see in her acting. I don't know how to actually explain it, but especially with her character, there's always like a mistake or like a fuck up or a kind of yeah, like and I think that's actually really inspiring, because in the future she could probably rise up and really
Well, she was a hothead in Rebels too. It's like she was always fucking up in the show, so I think it actually like translates pretty well, in live action, because like she's still pretty young too, right?
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is like her. I don't like that the showrunners are like pushing her to be like force sensitive. I don't know if that's their intention, but it feels like that sometimes. I just like the fact that she's like Mandalorian, that just happens, and I like that she kind of like adopted Ezra's lightsaber as like a momentum to him.
That's cool.
I don't like that they're trying to like push her to be a Jedi sometimes.
I don't like the Force thing, but I think it's really cool to have a non-Force user still wield a lightsaber. The reason is because everyone likes to picture themselves as Force wielders, and it becomes really kind of exclusive when you have to have the certain blood type or whatever. It's like the alt race or the the high race,
Well, in a way, it's like because there's no Jedi left really, other than like Luke and Ahsoka. Maybe Cal Kestis, where that motherfucker is probably in Miami or something. But
he's probably in Miami. Yeah,
yeah. No, but I like that the memory of the Jedi still kind of like lives on through these certain characters. Like even if they can't use the Force, just like the idea of like the Jedi bringing hope to the galaxy. I think that's a really interesting concept.
Well, beautiful words to say. Before we end this, what would you rate this?
Still 10 out of 10 for me. I think these first 2 episodes are pretty strong, and they're long too. There was like almost an hour runtime, which is pretty cool. But yeah, cool. 10 out of 10 high marks for me. How about you?
Yeah, I probably will give it a 9 out of 10. Still a great show. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it, and that will conclude our review for Episode 2 of Ahsoka, now streaming on HBO Max. Sorry, I'm thinking of The Last of Us.
Damn.
On Disney Plus.
No wonder the quality was so good.
Right. Well, guys, we are going to do this weekly, and we're going to review next episode 3. So stick with us. If you guys have any thoughts on Ahsoka, please leave your comment down below. We appreciate your patronage. And Dylan, take us away.
Yeah, thank you so much. Check out our other videos because we have a fuck ton this month. We just came back from San Diego. Akram worked pretty hard on our vlog video. I can't wait for you guys to see it if you haven't already. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And until then, thanks for having lunch with us.
See you guys.